How you guys doing? Welcome back to my Lookism chapter 493 review. It's been a while, I know. It's been almost 3 months since my last review video, but as you guys know, Naver Webtoon copyright striked my videos 3 times, so that means 3 strikes you're out. So my channel was at risk of being deleted, so I had to stop doing reviews and live streams for a while. I switched over to TikTok, which are more lax in their copyright laws application, if you would say. And I've been live streaming on there, making TikToks pretty much every day about Lookism, Avatar, a whole bunch of other content. So if you guys do want to see more content from me, or if ever I get striked again and I have to stop posting on YouTube for a while, you guys can go ahead and see me on TikTok. It's the same name, same profile picture, everything. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description. So now let's go ahead and get into the Lookism review. So Lookism chapter 493 was a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. They kind of used that chapter as like a introductions to the first gen kings and how they all ended up in Cheongyang at the same time and how they knew Seongji needed help. The chapter starts off with Kwak Ji-chang learning there's a fire in Seongji's mountain and it ends up over there. We get a little bit of a comedic scene between him and Jagyu, the Incheon's kings, I don't know his name, breaking his car. Taeso Ma basically does the same thing, and then Zach's teacher comes in and just pisses on his car, so we get that funny little exchange. Afterwards, we kind of learn that this whole thing that's happening in Cheongyang, at the same time, this is the beginning of Big Deal's golden age. So this was a little bit before, I say about 1 or 2 years before Jake even learns about Big Deal. So I think this is when this is taking place. This chapter was a relatively short chapter, so I'm going to be able to get through the review pretty quickly. So after the whole comedic bit between the first gen kings introducing themselves and whatnot, we get them going to Shimyong's compound where they see Seongji with his fingers and toes cut off, and you know, they're pissed, right? They're like, who did this to you? And they're ready to throw down. And that's when they start, you know, finding their opponent among the Generation Zeros. We have Kwak Ji-chang versus the Kojima brothers. And we have some of the first Gen Kings against one of those guys from Gen Zero. Personally, I don't care enough to learn their names. Not the first Gen Kings, but those guys from Gen Zero. So I'm going to go ahead and put the panels up there and you can see who's going to be fighting who. And then we pan over to Incheon's king having a chat with James Lee where he's like, oh, you fought Seongji Q too. And then basically he's like, damn, now we got to fight each other. Do you think you can win? James Lee's like, you're not going to win. And Incheon's king was like, trust me. Incheon is way better or more dangerous than Cheongyang, so he thinks he's gonna beat James Lee. Me personally, I don't think he's beating James Lee. I think we've kind of acknowledged that Seongji Yu is the strongest of the first gen king. Like, we did get a little bit of dialogue where the first gen kings were saying, oh, we want to fight some of them want to fight Seongji Yu, some of them want him to join them. So it looks like it's pretty well known and acknowledged that Seongji Yu is one of the strongest first gen kings. Maybe we'll get surprised, but I don't think personally he stands a chance against James Lee, especially after James Lee surpassed the power threshold after fighting Seongji Yu. So, and their fight kind of ended at a stalemate, or I guess you could say Seongji Yu was about to lose. Me personally, I'm going to count it as a stalemate. So I don't think Incheon King stands a chance against him. But it looks like they set up that fight for next chapter, chapter 494. I'm kind of excited to see the Incheon King fight because we see him do a couple of moves. I still don't know what martial arts he uses. I remember Tekadon saying something about him using a certain martial arts, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. So I'm kind of excited to see the King of Incheon fight, especially since we haven't seen the King of Pyeongtaek and I think the King of Busan got negged pretty easily. I forgot who that was. But those two, one of them got negged off screen, so I kind of want to see what the kings of the first gens have to offer. I apologize for doing the reviews like this where I'm just talking at the camera and showing you guys the panels, but as you know, I can't do reaction videos anymore because of Naver Webtoon copyright striking all my reaction videos. Some of them are still private. I do plan on releasing them eventually, but I want to do the reviews a little bit more to see how that goes, to see if they're going to stop striking my videos. And then I'll go ahead and re-release the ones that aren't deleted yet, unfortunately, or the ones I was able to get back. Because once you get strikes, YouTube automatically removes the videos and we have to appeal it and basically have them reinstated. So some of them are gone. A couple of them are left, the ones that weren't striked yet. So they're still privated, so I could repost them eventually. Overall, I give this chapter a 6 out of 10. Not the best chapter. It was just an introductory chapter to the first gen kings, you know, showing how they all got together. Nothing crazy. I can't really say, oh my god, this was a great chapter. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I can't wait for chapter 494, though, where we see the King of Anshan versus James Lee. I already know the first gen kings are going to beat those Gen 0 fathers. You know, we have what's his name? The son of Anson, Hudson beat them. Well, they were old back then, so I'll give it to that. But Hudson beat them, Zach beat them. So I have no doubt that they're going to beat them. I also think during this fight with the Gen Zeros is how, for example, Zach's teacher learned the 1-inch punch in order to beat people. This is probably the fight where he struggled a lot against them. And he's like, oh, I got to develop a new move. And that's where he learned the 1-inch punch. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to go follow me on TikTok. If I have any more stuff to say about this chapter, I usually post it on TikTok. So if you guys do want to watch that or see more content about Lookism, go definitely follow me on there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.